So for this unit in the Fundamentals of Piano Theory, Unit 12, we're going to talk about transposing, where we're going to take the same pattern and we're going to use the same intervals in between every note, but we're going to change the note that it starts on. So for this melody, it says C, D, E, G, F, E, D, D, E, F, G, E, D, C. So I'm going to take each of these intervals. So here's a second, here's a second, boom, now it's a skip, now it's a third. So you see how I'm kind of looking at what the intervals are in between each note. Now this is also kind of easy too, because you can look at this as a 5-finger pattern. So I can say 1, 2, 3, 5, 4, 3, 2. 2, 3, 4, 5, 3, 2, 1. Now you can't do that when you get to like pieces of music that you can't rely on your finger numbers, like in a 5-finger pattern piece. But for this page and for this unit, you can, at least to help get you started in transposing. But essentially transposing is you are taking the same interval between every note. And we haven't talked about major or minor intervals yet, so we're just using seconds, thirds, fourths, fifths. So I am identifying what the interval is, and remember a PU is a perfect unison between every note. E to F, that's a second. F to G, that's a second. G to E, that's a third, because we're skipping F. E to D, that's a second, and C to D, that's a second. So I'm going to take all of these intervals. I'm going to play it for you on piano. And now it says, I'm going to transpose it, but this time play it on G. My starting pitch is now G. I'm going to take the same intervals, the same melody that I played, and I'm going to now play it starting on G. So it has the same melody, and it has the same intervals in between every pitch. So now our job for this exercise is to transpose it into F. They wrote out the melody in G position, but now we have to write it out in F position. So it says a second. So a second up from F, one note up from F, that's going to be G, F, G, and now another one up is going to be A, F, G, A, and then a skip up is going to be C, and then down one, B flat, down another, A, G, and make sure that's a half note. And then it says to repeat that note. G, back up, A, B flat, C, back down a third, A, G, F. So now let's play this and see if it sounds like our melody in C or our melody in F. I'm sorry, or G. Oh, okay, well let's play it and see if that sounds the same. Just starts on a different note, and let's try it in G one more time. Yep, that checks out. And you can do that starting on any of the 12 pitches. Oh, it's difficult to get back in line. So now we're going to do the same thing, but notice how there's a lot more jumps and skips in this melody here. It says this melody uses the notes of the G major 5-finger scale, so we can still rely on using fingers and just in a 5-finger pattern as well. So we have a 5th, going down a 3rd, going up, back a 3rd, going down a 4th. See, this is a lot more jumpy this time. 2nd, 2nd, going down a 3rd, going back up a 4th, going down a 2nd, going up a 2nd, going down a 3rd, going down a 2nd, and going down a 2nd. If this is difficult for you to see the flow of the music, you can do what's called directional reading, which is, I'll do it in purple highlighter since I wrote. I'll do this exercise up here. So directional reading is where you see the flow of the music. Is the music going up, down, or is it staying the same? So here I'm going G, A, B, D. Well, this music is going up. So I'm going to draw an up line above it. And then here's C, B, A. This music's going down. Then it stays the same. We have an A to an A. Those notes are the same. And then we go back up again. And then we go back down. So we can use these kind of hills, and here we have a valley, to kind of see the flow, the melodic flow of the piece. So if we did that here, we would have up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So this is, you see, a lot smoother. This is a lot more kind of rigid and, I don't want to say harsh, but there's a lot more movement happening here than the first pattern. So we have to be a lot more aware of what's happening when we're transposing. So we have D, and we need to go up a 5th. So up a 5th from D, D, E, F sharp, G, A. So we're going to go up a 5th to A, and we're going to go back down. And if you're having difficulty thinking of your intervals, and you're saying in your head, well, I already know that this is in a D 5-finger, D major 5-finger pattern, you can say D, E, F sharp, G, A, and that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And you can kind of keep this to the side. And you can say, oh, okay, that's my 3rd scale degree. That's my 4th scale degree. Oh, I forgot to draw my little carrot tops. And you can kind of keep this somewhere close to you. Okay, and you can go, okay, down a 3rd from A is 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's going to be an F sharp. Okay, and I need to go back up a 3rd here. So 1, 2, 3. Always count your first. That's back up to A. That completes my first measure. Now I need to go down a 4th from my A. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's going to be an E. Up a 2nd from E. 1, 2. That's going to be F sharp. Up a 2nd from our F sharp is going to be 1, 2. That's going to be the half note. Okay, so we have our 2nd measure done. We need to go up a 3rd. I'm sorry, not up a 3rd, down a 3rd. I was like, you can't go up a 3rd. That's silly. Okay, so down a 3rd. 1, 2, 3. We need to go up a 4th. 1, 2, 3, 4. Down a 2nd. 1. Up a 2nd. And down a 3rd. 1, 2, 3. Down a 2nd. And down another 2nd. So we should have ended on our tonic, which is D. Remember, tonic is the first scale degree. So our tonic in G major is G, our tonic in D major is D. So let's play both of them back to back and see if I did it correctly. I sure hope so. Okay, here's the one in G position again. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't even play it for you the first time. And now it's supposed to be played in bass G. Can you even see my bass G? No, you can't even see it. So I'm going to play it up an octave in middle G. I'm sorry, no. I should play it with my left hand. Okay, so there is our initial tune of the melody. Now it says to move from G position to D position. Can you see my D? Yes, you can. Okay. And we have successfully transposed our tune. And I'm going to cut this first video off there so I don't make the next video, or I don't make this video way too long with the second page, because the second page adds in 2 hands. Okay, transposing video part 1 complete.